Okay, sorry about that. This is part 2 with what,
Soozie Napinski.
Lipinski. Okay, sorry, the memory card was full, so we'll have to
That's
go on
all
part
right.
2.
No.
But anyway, as we were talking, as I was swapping out the memory cards here, you were saying that you really, I would say, geeked up towards this move.
Very much so.
Yeah.
I'm given. Now they're allowing us, if you're grandfathered in, the no rate increase. Okay, they're giving us a certain dollar amount to build what we need towards updated refrigeration, display racks, things that you need to make everybody's shopping a little bit easier. Like I said, for handicap, for number one, and updated type of electric. Down here you have electricity that you plug in a toaster and you blow a fuse.
So
Okay.
those are all legitimate concerns. I mean,
They are.
Yeah, and it's like, as much as I have this, I mean, I could just, as I listen to what the problems were, once, Sam took me behind where he was in his workstation and showed me the issues he had, mentioning that before. I can see where there's issues with the building. It is old, and but see, I'm a person who likes to change. I like to just keep things going. Renovating. But if that's not a possibility, then I guess it's at the position. As much as I regret to say it might be a point where they have to move.
I have seen out back where I am. Okay, the drainage ditches. When it rains, it's like a little lake out there. Okay, and they've tried cleaning them out, and then in the winter it's just solid ice. There's nothing that they can do. And the other thing, too, is if they were to renovate, say if they could come up with some magical thing, okay, blow up the Citizens Bank building and put a pavilion out there, okay, that would be fine and well. But in order to do any type of major renovations, like installing bathrooms or parking, just a small little restaurant where people could sit down other than having 4 tables for people to sit down on. Okay, the market would have to close for a minimum of 6 months to do any type of major renovations. Do you know how many people would be out of business if that were to happen?
That's a reality. I mean, that's what you
It
have
is.
to deal with. So, I mean, all I can say is that I can see the points that people want to move for. I mean, I think they're doing it begrudgingly too. They like the market. But anyway, I'm glad. Like I said, I would encourage, and if you know people who are like vendors who have issues with the move, they feel, a lot of them say that what I've been hearing, some people are expressing fears that if they come out with it, they might be singled out for bad treatment.
Right. Now, when people come up and they have a negative attitude with me, about, I won't shop there. What they're trying to do at the market, say like if you were going to prepare like a Lebanese meal, okay, and you come down to the market and you can buy just a few things, but then you're going to have to go to Kroger's. In this area, you're talking a 6 to 7 mile radius to even get to a grocery store. And what the market is trying to do is, if you wanted to make a Lebanese meal, you can buy it all down at the market. If you wanted to make a Chinese meal, you can get it all down at the market. You got to run out of a roll of toilet paper, and rather than going to Kroger's. And I just bought a house over behind Kettering, and I do the same thing. I'm down here now, and if I want to cook a meal, I can get a lot of the stuff here, but I end up having to run over to Kroger's on Corona Road or go up to VG's or Aldi's up on Center Road.
Right.
And then that's the same thing like with the dorms over at Kettering. These kids are given their facilities to cook in their rooms, but yet they have to go to all of the other major grocery stores to do their shopping.
No, I was like the downtown location of the market. Okay, it is like a what they call a food desert for like fresh foods.
Right.
For the people to prepare. And there's so many students like your Kettering, your U of M, and other people who basically they have to trudge over to a place like you're alluding to, and that's a major. It encourages poor eating habits because they start preparing the prepared foods, which higher in sodium, cholesterol. they're not. It's not good for the
Right.
Americans are overweight, like myself included. But I do eat the more,
But
decent
still, you would
meals.
if
Yeah.
you had access to that on a continual
Right.
basis, and then they're also offering like more cooking classes to bring not just vendors to do cooking classes, but they're offering outside people to come in and use the facility, the community room that's down there.
Right.
And educate these people, on the value of eating, fresh vegetables and not paying high-priced dollars for them. And that's like with the protesters. I just wish that they would kind of put their efforts towards something like protesting gas prices so that people can afford to come downtown. And the other issue too was with the MTA downtown. Okay, everybody thinks that every vagrant in Flint is hanging out downtown at the bus station. Okay, and they're doing all that they can do for security at the market. They're going to offer some shuttle services for the parking lots. That may be from where we are now over to where Habitat for Humanities. Okay, I went and walked in a circle, and any of the parking is no further distance than from here to the end of the parking lot.
Well, it seems like they've done their research. I mean, I got to admit that they've done the research, but and I'm glad that people are like him. But like I said, I would I just like to really, kind of a journalist, that I am. If there are some people who have the concern that if they, vendors here that feel they're going to be put up on or treated badly because they oppose the move. That concerns me. That concerns me because like I said before, I think
there are vendors and they have legitimate concerns. Number one, some of the producers, to me, your producers and your farmers that come in the summertime, accommodate them before you accommodate. That's what your farmers market is about. And there are legitimate concerns. It's like 3 days a week, we see producers come in at 5 o'clock in the morning, loading their produce out onto the tables. Okay, 3:30, 4 o'clock, they're loading it back on. So the vegetables that have been sitting in here during the summer in 100-degree weather, then they're going into either a refrigerated truck and then brought back on Thursday. They're given the opportunity for cold storage. Okay, where they don't have to, and number one, there's labor costs that's cut down on that. Plus, your vegetables aren't being put into a truck 3 days a week, 4 days a week, and then put back into heat. It's stable. So, and that's what they're trying to work with the producers on. What do you need? Well, how can we accommodate this? So the labor costs there are cut down for the producers and then given the customers fresher vegetables. Because it's like 100-degree weather in here, you can take some celery sometimes and it just like wilt up like a bed of carrots, just kind of flip over,
right.
And that's due to the heat, bringing it in and out, in and out.
So it's like you're definitely on board for the move. And,
I'm definitely on board.
And you said, now we'll give you a chance to plug your business too here. You again say your name, what's your business, or where you're located at?
My name is Soozie Napinski, and I have a business called Slap Yo Mama, Cajun Seasoning out of Ville Platte, Louisiana. I also sell a spread that I make using the seasonings. I have 3 seasonings. It's a mild, a medium, and a hot. No MSG, all Cajun. I have a seafood boil, catfish fry, and an etouffee sauce. And then in the fall, I will be having a Slap Yo Mama Bloody Mary mix. It's actually a liquid. Slap Your Mama salsa, and big bottles of Slap Your Mama Cajun pepper sauce.
Now, do you have a website somewhere some people go to? Or?
There is a website, Slap Your Mama.
Okay.
You can go on to that. And I've also have a cookbook that I'm kind of working on. It's just a Soozie's cookbook is what it is, just what I do. And then I also go to like Art in the Park over in Mott Park, where I sell corn on the cob.
Okay.
And I use the seafood boil and Slap Your Mama butters that I make up.
So it sounds like it looks like you're planning definitely to be part of the Flint business community and the Flint community overall.
Definitely.
So, well, it's like, and I'm glad to get a chance to sit down with the vendors and also with the market manager, Mr. Ramsdell, because I'd like to.
He's got a really good philosophy. He came. We have a My Park committee, and once a month, the community of My Park, we always have a meeting. And so he came and did a presentation to a lot of the people, and they're the elderly people that live over in My Park. So we're trying to recruit new people into the My Park community. And he was talking about like synergy. And downtown Flint, you have to start somewhere and just kind of work out. There's, a lot of well, why doesn't Uptown just take all of the money and put it elsewhere rather than the Flint Farmers Market? Okay, we've already discussed about the renovations. But why not put it in downtown Flint?
Well, it's like, I have hopes that it kind of has an impact from outside, out of there. I have serious doubts that will happen because I've seen what happens in Flint. And that's because the leadership has a tendency to be very short-sighted or very self-serving.
Right.
And so if that can be rectified, and I'll state publicly that I want to see that rectified or addressed even, because, basically putting a Band-Aid on it or saying what you want, they want to know what people want to hear is not the answer. They got to actually have action that follows through what they're saying they really think. You got to have both, and I'm very skeptical of that because I have a very strong distrust for local leadership. I'm not a person who follows a leader anyway because I've always been taught to think that basically people are going to those roles for their own betterment. To think that they're always going to consider you as part of that equation is insanely stupid. So you got to question them.
It is.
And that's what this whole purpose of Flint Talk Radio for my behalf is to always question those in authority because we got to have authority. It's stupid to think that otherwise. But you always got to always question these people who are making these decisions. And they got to come up with good answers other than shake your hand and pat you on the back, and treat your children.
That's like the decision to move the market. To me, it's called a midnight decision making. Okay, and I am not one of those administrative persons to make that decision. I'm just what's there that they're helping me make the decision. They've made their decision.
Right.
Okay. We weren't consulted on it, but they will meet with you individually. Any questions you have, they will try and explain it. So I'm a conformist. I'll do whatever I can. And we're trying to do a lot of promotions down here. We're going to have my opinion is if you have a family, if you have kids, do something for the kids that brings the families down. Let them see what it's like.
Okay.
So we'll either gain or we'll lose.
Well, anyway, thank you for your time here, and I'll hope to see you. Well, I'll see you in the next couple of weeks because I've come there quite a bit. So
there you go.
Anyway.